Coming to you direct from deep underneath your favorite Japanese wrestling arena, it's time for your high-speedy, strongly styled, fighting spirited, secret handshaking, wink wink nudge nudge, lethal dose of female professional wrestling, primarily in the land of shoguns and rising suns. It's time for you to remove your blindfold, accept a complimentary fruity drink that's totally not sus at all, and learn from our inside terminology, because you, our friends, have nearly willfully accepted the invite and have joined our Cult of Joshi. Now allow me to introduce you to your fighting spirited guides, Raja and John.
Hello and welcome back to the Cult of Joshi. I'm your host, Raja, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, John.
Hello.
And we have had a spectacularly fun week of Joshi, like, just little bits here and there all coming together to make, like, just a really enjoyable week of wrestling.
Well, you make it sound so nice.
It was. I really had a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's been a lot of interesting things happening for sure.
Yeah, little switches up here and there that just make for enjoyable content.
Well, let's turn them on.
Okay.
See what we have going on.
Why don't we just start with NJPW in America?
Yeah, crazy.
Because we had a little match at Resurgence on the 9th where Mercedes Moné put her NJPW Strong Women's Championship on the line against Mina Shirakawa and Azumi in a triple threat match.
Katsumi.
Katsumi, of course it was Katsumi.
Was it Laser Katsumi this time, or was it just regular Katsumi?
I feel like it was regular. It might have been Laser Katsumi.
I think it might have been Laser Cat. She always wears the really nice...
nice cat ears for title matches.
Yeah, but they have to be removed.
They do.
Unfortunately.
They're a little aggressive, I think, if she was to wear them in the match.
No one wants an aggressive cat.
But this match was extremely fun, and it ended in a way that I think a lot of people expected, because Mercedes Moné hasn't lost a singles match in a very long time, and she was not pinned or submitted to lose this match. In fact, it was Azumi using the double Azumi Sushi to pin Mina Shirakawa and become the new NJPW Strong Women's Champion.
Double order of sushi. And, it's kind of hard with these New Japan and America shows because, unfortunately, they don't get the kind of pomp and circumstance that they should.
They don't get the love they should.
Yeah, these shows are amazing. They're always fun from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And they always put on incredible matches. In fact, some of the matches that have happened at these, when you get a match of the year contender, which we have at one of these with the girls in December, I believe, that is hard to do because the crowd is not...
they're not quite there.
They're excited, but they're not... I think New Japan needs to pull the AEW card.
Right.
And start running like Hammerstein, right?
Right.
Start running some of these
a bit smaller.
Yeah, these culturally enriched, locations. And that's how I feel about all these places. All these places that they're running and AEW, it's like 100 years old, right? Like the one coming up in Chicago. It's a 100-year-old building.
They're so gorgeous, too.
It's back when people gave a shit about architecture, and it works good because people still give a shit about wrestling in that company.
Right.
So you put the two together, and what do you get? You get a wonderful atmosphere. You get, just the ambiance. And somebody was talking recently about, how it's really uplifted the performers, the wrestlers, just because of the crowds and anybody who's ever worked an indie show, man. When it's a packed indie show and you got like just people hanging off the rafters, literally, there is just something about that vibe.
It's a great vibe.
Yeah, and think about all the ones. Limitless is coming up with the 10-year anniversary. It's hard to believe.
It is.
But they run out of Maine. And when we were living up there, we were regular Limitless attendees.
We were. It was very fun.
Just an amazing job Randy Carver does and stuff. But those crowds and those Manas, man, they came out. They showed out.
Oh, every time.
And you'd have, I don't even know how many, 2,000 people, 1,000 people just packed into a sardine can.
Right.
But it was always so much fun. The vibe was so much fun. And that's
when everyone's that excited about something, it's hard not to, it's infectious.
I know the optics on running a 10,000-seater is probably important.
Right, but when you don't fill the 10,000 seats.
And they could. Honestly, I don't think there's people that know that.
They don't market them great, do they?
Yeah, that so-and-so versus so-and-so's down the street.
Right. Right.
I literally believe that there's people that probably just have no idea what's happening in there. local town when it comes in. And that's the only thing that pisses me off about these shows, because this was a great show. It was fun.
It was. A lot of the matches were really excellent, and the ladies actually were the main event. So it was really good. And I think that's a big reason why a lot of people were there, because Mercedes was there and everything. But I mean, there's something to be said for New Japan Strong running. Like, they kind of bounce from like Chicago, California, Washington, D.C. They don't really like branch out anywhere.
You got to imagine, if we were running Japan, we would run Tokyo, Osaka, Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto. I mean, Kyoto's pushing it.
That's
right?
fair.
But you run what you think's big, right?
Yeah, but I agree. I think smaller venues would do them a lot of good and create, like, it's like there's only so many tickets available, right? So make people want to get them more.
Exactly. It's a good thing to be sold out.
Yeah, but just like we ended the night with a brand new New Japan Strong Women's Champion, congratulations to Azumi. That's what we all wanted to happen. We also started off the show with a woman, Bea Priestley, showing up to just talk about how she's back and she's ready to get back in the ring. And she even had a little match against Viva Van to kick off the show, which was cool.
All right, look. So, Bea Priestley being Bea Priestley. You know, it wasn't some watered down Bea Priestley.
No.
This was not your posh, I live in Downton Abbey Bea Priestley, because she's not. This is down in the apartments, you know, freaking just crazy, just, you know, just that the rain in Spain kind of Bea Priestley.
Very Cockney Bea Priestley.
Super Cockney. I was trying to think of something other than Cockney to say.
It's the only word I could think of.
But super freaking British, the way I like my British.
Right.
I like my you know, very ZSJ.
Not very posh.
Yeah, not very posh at all. But not, you know, no shit talk. I mean, no shit taking. Just talking bunch of shit. But the whole time, I just love seeing her bitching, like through as it goes through the match, right?
Yeah.
She's like, you're
gonna kick me in the face.
You'll kick me in the damn face.
I love it so much. And she has put out feelers there to perhaps go back to Stardom and do a little work.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I mean, honestly, I think that in the current state, there's definitely a big spot for a good gaijin.
Absolutely.
To come in.
They're kind of empty on that front now. Like, Tekla's gone, Xena's been hurt a while.
And somebody with all the experience and history of actually being part of groups and being part of big storylines and being a damn champion.
Yeah, it would be really cool to see her back, like maybe for the 5-star or even just for a long run. In Stardom, I think it would be really fun.
Like somebody, I would like to see her over there permanently just because of her style.
Yeah, and you've got already made stories with her past teammates and stuff, like the Queen's Quest stuff.
What's crazy about Bea is, with all the experience that in all the years we've seen her, she's still just like 29.
I know. It's the same thing with Toni Storm. She's the same age, but she's done all of this stuff. It just blows your mind when you figure out how much she's accomplished already in her career.
Well, it's like Azumi being 22.
Yeah, Azumi, I think, is a special case.
She is, but we've got so much left with, you know.
I know, it's awesome to think that 10 years from now we can still be watching some of these people and they'll be in their prime still.
Oh, they'll absolutely be in their prime.
But as far as Azumi goes, she actually took that New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Funny enough, she flew back to Japan she had a picture with Starlight Kid with the purple belt and her artist belt, which they got back for her. And then she came back to America to be on AEW Dynamite this week.
I did not know she flew back to Japan in the interim.
Yes. In a 4-way, Toni Storm in an eliminator match, putting it up against Sky Blue, who just returned from a very long injury, Mina Shirakawa, now officially AEW's Mina Shirakawa, and Azumi, who came back for this match. And these 4-ways have been a lot of fun. Toni Storm, of course, playing it up because she's timeless, and that's what she does best. And her promos have just been just as incredible, if not more so,
timeless,
the past few weeks.
Timeless.
But nobody's been able to win one of these eliminator matches.
Let me just say one really cool thing about the eliminator match that I thought was brave booking is they did it way different than what you normally see in wrestling. In fact, I've been studying deeply 1980 and 81 Georgia Championship Wrestling lately, and almost every house show, every week on the regular big shows. And instead of pay-per-views back then, they built up to the Omni show.
Right.
So they would have like every 2 weeks or sometime every month, they would have the Omni show, and all the other matches they had and all the other house shows, they always build up to the Omni show.
Right.
But almost every damn one of them would be some cheap ass loss or some cheap ass way out. It'd be double count outs or DQs. There was one show that there was 5 matches, 4 DQs and a double count out. I'm like, we would go insane about that now.
Yeah, everyone would lose their minds.
But it was the way you booked back then. It was the way you booked when you had weekly towns and you had to get to building up for this next match, building up. And almost all of them build up to the huge stip match. That would be like a cage match, or there was a reason that you did it, right? But in recent years, you have like the eliminator matches in AEW. You have different matches everywhere, non-title, to if they win the match, they're winning in a tag match, you know. But there's easy way outs, and people always do that. If there's 4 people in a match, champion doesn't lose.
No,
it's someone else that loses and gets a title shot,
like we just talked about with Mercedes.
Yeah, exactly that. But what they did, like with these eliminator matches, obviously Tony was having a series of eliminator matches, trying to see who could do it, you know. And Tony kept, going over, and no one was able to do that, and which was also kind of different. You see eliminator match, you think they're hot shotting. Yeah, it's like, well, there's eliminator because she's going to lose.
Yeah, and she's been doing it for weeks,
and so she doesn't lose, and you're like, well, damn, that's kind of cool. And then she does it again. Okay, that's kind of cool. We knew that this one was the one.
Yeah, it kind of felt like the vibes that this one was the one where Tony was going to lose.
Because they had the mystery people. I know we put out there. Maybe it's,
Yeah, it's like who's going to be
and Mariah.
We're half right.
Yeah, Mina being one of them and stuff. And but the cool thing was Tony lost. It wasn't somebody else in the match that lost. Tony lost.
Yeah, she took the pin.
Took the pinfall loss.
Yes.
Which really builds a reason for this match, and it builds the doubt, and it builds the possibility.
Yeah, it's like she pinned her before. Why couldn't she do it again?
Mina Shirakawa could actually take this title.
Yes, so Mina coming into AEW officially, an AEW wrestler with a new song and everything. She looked great. Her new gear was amazing.
I know you were talking about something that you seen on Twitter. I just want to say, I loved the new dance.
Yes.
I looked.
We were jamming.
She must have spent weeks coming up with that.
Yeah.
But, I loved it.
I thought the new song was really good.
I think you said there was like...
It's done by the same person who did Mercedes' CEO theme.
Just tell me what happened.
There was a little bit of backlash on Twitter from fans tweeting at Tony about changing Mina's song back to the Stardom theme. And so that's why the old song played after the match.
But he didn't listen, right? He's like Triple H, and he said, hey, you guys quit complaining.
No, he answered people and was like, I already did change it back. And my personal take, I love the new song and dance, but I think it should be up to Mina. Obviously, it's her song. It's what she has to come out to. If she wants to come out to the new song, that's what she should come out to.
Right.
In my opinion. People will get used to it.
Yeah, people get used to everything.
She actually features in the song.
Oh, really?
Like, part of it, the singing is her, so...
Aww.
She's obviously put a lot of work and heart into this, so I don't want people to mess it up for her.
Well, that sucks,
She's starting a new chapter in AEW. She wants to separate herself from Stardom, then let her. Don't poop on her parade.
I wondered why they played it, and I thought it was just a mistake that they played the old one at the end.
Me
because
too.
This show was full of mistakes. It was like
a lot of production errors.
It was like everybody had the week off or something.
Yeah.
And there's just like, well, let's let his cousin Elmo do it.
Yeah, I assumed that was what was happening as well.
It was like all through, and it's been a long time since I've seen mistakes.
Yeah.
So it's very obvious.
It is. It stands out. But after this match, I thought it was really cute how Tony kind of smiled at Mina in the like, oh, look at you kind of way. And it was like, they're still friends.
Right.
And Tony's obviously attracted to Mina, as she always has been. But now, because of this win, Mina will be facing Toni Storm at Double or Nothing in a couple of weeks for the AEW Women's World Championship. So that's very exciting.
Do you think I don't think she goes over.
No, I don't think so, no. I think Tony will hold it at least until All In.
Yeah.
If not past All In.
Right.
Depends who she's facing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm with you. I think All In will be the time, and God knows who she's going to face.
It's either going to be Mercedes or Jamie.
Well, I think that the only thing you can do is at Double or Nothing, Mariah May has to interfere in that match.
Yeah. It seems more and more like Mariah is not leaving.
Yeah, so Mariah May because it just makes sense. Mariah May interferes in that match because she hates Tony, and she has to form her alliance with Mina. So maybe Mina does a heel thing,
maybe
right off the bat.
That would be kind of fun.
And wins that belt. We have a 3-way All In with the three of them, because then she wants an instant title match or something, and maybe Mina beats her, which pisses her off. Who knows?
Right.
But I could see it being a 3-way.
Yeah, it would have to be before All In, because the winner of the Owen gets the All In match with the champion.
Yeah, that's
It'll
true.
either be Mercedes or Jamie, but that's not to say, I mean, maybe Tony won't be the champion by that point. It's hard to say.
That would work as well, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Then you can have a grudge match. So, who knows?
All kinds of things can happen.
There's
like 2 months until
a lot of things can happen, but I think Mariah May is a double or nothing return.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm excited to see her and Mina together,
Yeah.
working together.
I think it's definitely happening.
Yeah. Another little thing that was funny that a few people caught was Azumi's Titantron still saying Queen's Quest on it.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Maybe people got on X and complained that she wasn't in Queen's Quest anymore.
I actually only saw one person point it out. Whirling Andy, of course, the biggest Azumi fan in the world. But it was just funny. I thought it was funny because obviously they just haven't changed it since the last time she was here.
They're like, surely that hasn't changed.
Right? Like a year ago when Queen's Quest was dissolved.
Yeah, storylines are long-term over there.
But why don't we scurry on over to Japan?
Let's go to
talk
Japan.
about a little fun stuff that happened over the past week, including some Marvelous Marigold continuation of their crossover. There's been some cool stuff. Marigold was finishing up their Golden Week shows, and on the 10th, they actually had a match for the Twin Star Championships.
Yes.
The Tag Team Championships, where Nanai Takahashi and Sari Yamaoka put the titles on the line against the new and improved Magenta, Rico,
yes.
Kawahata, and Maria.
God dang it. I love their look.
Oh my gosh. It's funny because, Marvelous had a one-day tag tournament on the 5th, and Rico and Maria lost to the rookies, Senka and Sora. And so they left. Obviously, they left the ring. They weren't in the next round. And then at the end of the show, Magenta comes back out with this brand new look, all in dark, no eyebrows, just complete heels.
That makes sense.
All in one show. It was crazy.
When I lose to a rookie, I always shave my eyebrows.
And the best part was Rico tweeting that her Face ID didn't recognize her anymore.
I love it because I'm such a fan of Rico anyway.
Yeah.
And
she's such a character.
Have been. No matter what she does, she just engulfs it and just really falls into it.
She really puts her all into it.
She does.
So Magenta is now the Twin Star Tag Team Champions,
which is
in
really
Marigold.
cool. It's so cool because having a Marvelous team as Marigold champions is somewhat of opening a little door. It
is, yeah.
I mean, it keeps
it open.
They've been doing this more and more, which I love. There's a lot of exciting things happening at Marigold already.
Yeah.
So
obviously, crazy stuff.
Like with some of the matches you're seeing now, it's just like, Jesus Christ, like Stardom Central. I mean,
yeah, they're really picking up the pace.
Mayu teaming with freaking Mirai. I mean,
which is just wild. Yeah, they have some shows this weekend that are kind of story building for the
against
big
Utami
show.
And freaking young girl.
And Yuzuki, yes.
Yuzuki, sorry.
A little prelude
Victoria.
Match. Because on the 24th, Marigold is having their first anniversary show, Shine Forever 2025. And they've announced some really big matches, including some Marigold Marvelous matches. There's a 10-man Natsumi Shozuki, Naoi Ishikawa, Hummingbird, Rei Sato, and Komomo Minami versus Riko Kawahata, Maria, Ai Hozan, Senka Akatsuki, and Sora Ayami. So a big Marigold versus Marvelous
Well, there you go.
match.
I wondered how they were going to deal with with them being tag champions and having the war.
Yeah, you got to imagine something will come out of this where they get challenged for the tag team belts.
Hopefully it has something to do with Natsumi Shizuki.
Hopefully. There's also Sari Yamaoka in a singles match against Takumi Iroha, which is another Marigold Marvelous.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I feel bad for Sari.
Dude, Sari's going to quit the business.
She's going to get the tar beat out of her.
She's going to quit the business.
Then 2 title matches and a retirement match, my bad. For the Superfly title, Victoria Yuzuki versus Mayu Utani. And for the world title, Utami Hayashishita versus Mirai. And then Nanai Takahashi's final match against Miku Aono. Big show.
It's a hell of a show.
It's a big anniversary show. It's going to be really good.
Dude, every one of those matches rock.
Yeah, that's not even the full card. That's just the big statement matches. Obviously, it's still like 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
so we got some time.
Damn, there's some good matches on there.
There are. It's going to be really good. It's actually a pay-per-view. So even if you have Wrestle Universe, you'll have to pay a little extra for it, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Because it's their anniversary. They're all going to be coming with fire. Like they're not going to play safe on this one.
Yeah, sounds great.
Another show that we watched over the past week was the Sendai Girls show from May 11th. And as always, Sendai Girls delivers on every show. And this was like the follow-up to Meiko Satomura's retirement. So this is kind of like them beginning the path past that chapter of their life. But it was a really fun show. Some standouts, of course, Shin Hirota Sakura had a match against Hiroyo Matsumoto, which was just hilarious. And Hirota sporting some new gear. She looked fabulous. But okay, we
have to talk about it.
We have to talk about the matches that we watched over the past week.
So as you guys know, we are students of the game.
Yes.
And we just go randomly every week and we pick, we've been on a Gaia kick. But we go
is just so good.
We go pick something from the past in Joshi. And we just watch it. We get into it.
No judgments.
As we go, we cage match it up or whatever. We look at,
we learn things.
Yeah, where this went, where's this coming from, all these good things. But occasionally we're treated.
We were not expecting this.
We're treated to something we love and somebody we love.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you click on this match, right? And it's Akira Hakuto. It's an immediate have to watch, right? In Gaia. So at first, it appears to be Akira Hakuto versus Bull Nakano.
Yeah.
But it is in fact not Bull Nakano. It is Shin Bull Nakano.
Or whatever they went with.
It is Hirota Sakura, a much younger Hirota Sakura in 2001.
Yes.
Dressed as Bull Nakano with the hair spiked up, with a stuffing in her gear. And she comes, oh god, this match, if you can call it that, this Hirota Sakura match was just pure joy. You've never experienced a joy that is like seeing Akira Hakuto laugh in the middle of a match. Yeah. Okay?
Because it's such a rarity.
To experience it.
It was like she was wanting to keep the sanctity of wrestling.
Yeah.
And she laid it in. Like, all the moves.
Oh, yeah. Everything she did to Hirota Sakura was harsh and heavy.
And it was just like, oh.
It was interspersed, though, with Hirota doing her thing and Akira just losing it constantly.
It doesn't matter if there's a language barrier.
No. We were laughing like crazy.
I swear, dude.
This is a match that every Joshi fan needs to see.
She has to be. Hirota has to be the best comedic wrestler I've ever seen.
I think she is. Her timing is excellent, and her bits never get old, and she always comes up with new stuff. During this Hiroyo match, they were doing Meiko Satomura's moves to each other.
Yeah.
And late in the match, she just kept getting hit and then falling into position for Hiroyo to jump on her leg and do the axe kick to the head.
Right.
And every time she did it, Hiroyo just lost it because she did not want to jump on her leg. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's just perfect.
I'm never not laughing.
No, I know.
The entire time.
I know. She is the gem of wrestling.
Yes, so that was our weekly adventure into Hirota Sakura. I hope she's around forever. I love her so much. But as well on this show, in the main event, Takumi Iroha teamed with Dash Chisako to take on Miyuki Takase and Miki Iwata in a non-title match for the tag team titles. There was no titles on the line here. It was just a tag team match. But Takumi Iroha and Dash Chisako actually took the win over the tag team champs. So interesting.
Something's happening.
However, before any challenges or anything could be made, Unagi Sayaka appeared. She just came on out and was like, hey, what's up?
And the fans felt like,
They were like, no.
Yeah, they did not. Away. They did not want her there at all.
She at first tried to get Takumi to agree to tag with her, which did not work. So Yurika Oka came out, and I guess they have decided they're going to team up on June 8th in Shinjuku Face against Miki Iwata and Miyuki Takase. And Miko was not happy about this challenge, about this idea.
Yeah, it was really strange. It was like one of those times when you're like, Well, of course they talked about this.
Yeah.
But then but then you have to question it because of the look.
You see Mika's face and you're like, oh.
And the kicks to the face and just to get the hell away from me. And, you know, and then the tweet after.
And Miyuki trying to like chill everyone out is like not working. Yeah. And Mika saying basically like, I'm a serious wrestler. Don't bring this crap in my ring. Like that's essentially what she said.
Right. It was very strange. It was strange. But, you know, okay.
It's happening, I guess. It's a match that's going to happen. It was very weird, but Sendai Girls, as always, was fun to watch because they always
very good.
Put on a great show. But that brings us to Stardom, and we had 2 shows to watch this week. Starting on the 9th, they had New Blood 21, which New Blood is always good fun, you know?
Yeah, it's the best, man. It's really gotten so good.
Yeah, you get to see all the young up-and-comers, people from other places.
First thing we have to talk about is the camera work.
Oh my god. The quality of New Blood was so good.
They were like using...
It looked perfect.
Yeah, it was not even... Listen, we went from like 280p to
like barely see anything.
Yeah, to they claim it's HD, but it's not. You know,
I don't know what they did here.
This was as close to 4K.
It was beautiful.
I mean, it was unreal. They didn't even look the same.
No.
It was like some of the girls were 90 years old. I'm like, wait, what? And it was, but honestly, it was awesome. And we were so excited. You know, the next night when we watched actual Korakuen Hall, it was okay. It wasn't terrible.
Do you think it's because of the stream on YouTube? Like, do you think it's easier to stream to YouTube than their own site?
Listen, we've seen it crappy on YouTube many times.
That's fair.
I mean,
I don't know what they did for New Blood. It looked pristine.
It's like they rented some really nice cameras for the pay-per-view. Yeah. They still had a day left. Yeah. I don't know. It looked great though.
It did. And it started out with a singles match, Akira Kuragane versus Yuria Hime. These two put on a great little match between them. I was very impressed because
it's so good.
They're only like 3 months into their wrestling careers, and there was some questions to start.
It was really good. It was really good. If you go back and watch the first match between these two, and then you watch this match,
it's like night and day.
you would swear that it's been 2-3 years.
Yeah, Yuria has really stepped up and like worked hard to get to where she is. Kira is obviously a natural. She's very good. Yeah. So they were able to put together a match that was really enjoyable, and like there were no major screw-ups or anything.
No, it was great.
I was really happy with it.
It was better than any of the crap you see in America. Like,
yeah, especially with 3-month rookies.
Yeah, they don't even let those girls out.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this was awesome, and it should be treated as such. It was really, really good.
It was. And Akira Kuragane did take the win with her half-hatch suplex. That's what they call it on the results, so that's what I'm going to call it.
That neck crank deal.
The neck crank deal, yeah. Speaking of rookies, after this match, they brought out 2 of the new debutantes for Stardom, 2 new rookies that will be debuting later in the month. And they, at this point, on New Blood, they didn't give them names or anything. They just said hi. But they have been given tentative names up until their debut. I suppose we'll find out if these are official or if they have different names at that point.
Strange.
Yes, so we have Mai Matsuda and Ann Toyoshima. Those are the tentative names.
I don't think the Ann will stick.
No, because we have Ane.
We just got a new Ann.
Yeah. So it would be weird to have Ane and Ann. I mean, hers is just spelled A-N, while Ane's is A-N-N-E, so it's obviously different.
I don't know where the tentative names came from. I just sent that to you.
I guess people just needed something to call them.
Because you said on the website it still doesn't have anything listed.
No, if you go to the card for the 21st and look at the card, it just says newcomers under each of them.
I like to think that they actually erase their brains and they don't have names until they earn their names. It's like an anime.
Yeah, as soon as you enter the dojo, it's like you just get a number.
Just Antonio Inoki appears in the sky and
he bestows upon you your
drops
name.
the card, like with your name on it.
That little plaque, it's like, here's your name.
You are. And it's just like some random.
You are Ann.
Nam generator, yes.
Nam generator. He's just up there like shuffling the letters till he likes it.
Well, there's only so many combinations.
That's true.
It's gonna be like Moonstars or Tiger Butt or something like that.
Yes. He has to keep pushing it until something cool comes up.
I love Japanese language.
He's like, oh, rocket shoes, cool.
I am Moon Tiger.
It's it's like 10 different words that they just mix and match.
Well, does it not always seem that way?
It does. There's a lot of stars and tigers.
Stars and tigers and
girls
moons
of some kind. Yeah. Okay, so after we met our new rookies, we were treated to a tag team match, Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara versus Saran and Asuka Goda from Wave. Asuka Goda in there like a powerhouse, man. Like, she was cool.
She was.
I was really impressed with her.
I was too, man.
But Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara, being a long-standing tag team and having the experience they do, were able to win this match. Aya Sakura using her trusty triangle choke to get the job done.
I like thinking about people that just watched for the first time, because almost every day in Reddit, I see somebody going, "Can someone please explain Stardom to me?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I like thinking about those people tuning in to the first time, and they're like, "What's this New Blood show? How come it doesn't have the same storylines as everything else?" You know, and all this. And then watching like Aya and Kurara, and they're just like, "Holy shit, these must be the veterans."
Yeah,
and
it's like a great tag team here.
I know that first pay-per-view I watched last week, she was in like one of the mains, and it was all about her. So yeah, this is awesome.
Yes, it is. It is wild when you get to New Blood. It's like, what the heck's going on here?
I love it.
After that, we had a singles match between Yuna Mizumori and Soy, which, I mean, they just hit each other essentially the whole time.
Love Soy.
Yuna Mizumori picking up the win with the half Boston Crab.
Yes.
Interesting way to finish the match.
Yes.
Then Rion, Hanako, and Waka Tsukiyama took on Himiko, Mizuki Kato, and Yuma Makoto of Pro Wrestling Diana.
Mm-hmm.
And the visiting team of 3 women actually got the win here. There was a big body splash from Mizuki Kato on Rion, and Rion took the pin for her team.
Welcome back, Rion.
Welcome back to the fold. Then Rana Yagami teamed with Lady C to take on Maika Ozaki and Yuna Manase, which was fun.
Good old
match.
Yuna Manase.
Yeah, someone who has trained your faves.
Yeah,
like,
all your faves.
All your faves.
I love the fact during this match, Yuna Manase did this weird Stardom thing.
Yeah,
like, We Are Stardom. Like,
after the match, after Maika Ozaki used the Argentina Buster to win the match for her team, Yuna Manase was like, I just want to do this. I know it's not the main event. I just want to say, like the Stardom Shine Forever thing. And then she just did it in the middle of it. It was funny.
It was.
And then she left.
Because the girls looked very
confused,
weirded out.
They're
yeah,
like, you don't even go here.
It's okay.
She doesn't even go here.
She's somebody's mom.
And then in the main event, Fukigen Death, Azusa Inaba, and Rina took on Nanami Hatano. Nanami has added a surname to her name now. Tomoka Inaba and Hina of God's Eye. But Hate was not able to get the win in this match. It was God's Eye with Hina's big frog splash getting the win in the main event. And it's always fun when you have the sisters on each side facing off against each other. And then, of course, Fukigen Death and Nanami in there as well.
Absolutely. And Rina being a boss.
So it was a really good match.
It was. And Rina giving the words out there to, don't worry.
Yes,
don't
Rina
worry
once more.
If people have left.
Yeah, because I'm here.
I'm here. It's all you need.
That's all you need. You just need
Shut
Rina.
up, you simpletons.
She's determined to make sure no one worries because she's still here.
Dude, she is amazingly taller than what you think she is.
She is quite tall.
It's so funny because she's not Lady C tall, but she is.
Rina, Hina, and Hanan are all
they're all
quite tall.
They're all
big girls,
big boned.
Yeah, like when they hit you, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of size.
Someday they'll all be together in a crazy hill faction, just the evil sisters of the hill.
One day the Stardom sisters will be in the same team. Right?
I hope so, and
happy about it. Unlike right now.
No, I really hope so, but I do hope it's some giant hill faction, just of like 3 evil sisters
that they run together.
Maybe they can have the Inabas with them too.
Oh,
they could
just
be
a
like
sister faction.
Sister magic.
Only sisters allowed.
Yeah. And there's enough of them out there. You could have a big ass group.
You could have plenty of them.
You can even have gaijins coming over that are sisters.
Yeah. I know brothers are very prevalent in wrestling, but there's some sisters out there. You get the Renegade twins.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. They need to do something right now. So
they need something.
Yeah.
Please. Then we go 2 days later in Korakuen Hall on May 11th. We had a full house for this show, 1,503 fans, which is no small donuts for Stardom.
And that's not a small donut at all. It's a big fat donut. And
they've had a run of Stardom shows over 1,000 fans in Korakuen Hall.
So I'm really excited about the fact that we had a couple of people go do other stuff. and we have a sold out Korakuen Hall.
Yeah, me too.
That made me excited because
I was a little worried,
There's so many. I was worried that we were going to go into those stupid lulls when there's so much talent. And honestly, there's been a logjam at the top for so long that now is the fun part. This is the part that is fun, guys. This is like, who's going to make it? Who's going to shine? Who's going to stand out?
There's wiggle room, and we get to see who's going to make their way to the top.
We're going to see who the Wiggles are.
Yeah, who's doing the most wiggling, doing it the best.
Yeah.
It's really telling.
It is.
In times like these.
It is. Everybody fights a lot harder, I think, to get that spot.
They do. So, we began this show with Akira Kuragane, Itsuki Aoki, Rina Yamashita, and Suzu Suzuki, taking on Yuri Ahime, Rion, Waka Tsukiyama, and Hanako. So, we got a little Mavita Loca versus the remnants of EXV.
They should just call them the remnants. That'd be a great...
The Remnants is a great name.
Yeah, the Remnants against Mi Vida Loca. And
got nowhere else to go.
And
the Remnants.
And my weekly Meerkat mention. Damn you, Meerkat, for using the Ricky Martin "Living La Vida Loca." I was trying my damnedest to not associate "Living La Vida Loca" with Mi Vida Loca.
It's hard.
And now all I can hear is "Living La Vida Loca."
Time, yes. Yeah. Meerkat just knows how to.
Yeah.
How to
my
associate
God!
those things.
Since we're talking about it, his video on
All-Star Grand Queendom, his review came out finally. It was so good.
It's 30 minutes, guys. But if you want to watch something, even if you've watched a card, I was telling myself the whole time, I don't care how emotional he gets. I don't care how much in his filmmaker vibes he gets. Okay?
I don't care what music he puts behind it.
I don't give a damn. I'm not going to cry again.
Right.
When I see the scene.
Yeah, it's big talk.
The scene. And I cried. I couldn't help it. You got emotional too.
Yes,
I saw you.
Yes. If you want to relive the emotions in vivid Technicolor, go watch Meerkat Ultra's review.
I think one of the things is hearing somebody else that feels the love that we feel.
Yeah.
When you hear somebody else that actually has the passion for every little nuance, every little cell, the storytelling, it does something to you regardless because of how you feel when you watch this stuff.
Yeah. And I have to give it to him. He thinks the same way that we think about Stardom and most wrestling. Like, if he does a review on it and we watch it, we're like, well, that just sums up everything that we were thinking there.
Even the stuff he makes fun of.
I know. Even the things he doesn't like.
Is the same.
We're like, oh.
It's the same stuff. Like, it's so weird, man.
We would all be great friends, I think.
Yeah, it's very
watching
strange.
Wrestling.
So, back to the card.
This opening match ended in an awesome way because all of these amazing wrestlers are in this ring, but who was it that picked up the pin over Rion? Akira Kuragane with the half-hatch suplex.
So cool.
Getting a pin in Korakuen Hall for Mavita Loca.
Is it worth it?
I was so happy for her. Dude, she deserves it.
That's such a big deal for Stardom too.
It's so big.
Like, that doesn't happen. That's about as weird and crazy as having one of the black short, pool boys win a match in New Japan. I mean, it's we wanted it to happen for so long.
Yeah. We're like always hoping that a young boy will win.
Like Raja and I, okay, and I'm going to tell a little truth. Is that okay?
Yes.
So we used to not miss New Japan no matter what.
Oh, God. For years.
We watched every fucking show.
Like we do Stardom now.
Yeah. And we just never missed it. And we had reasons, kind of. Like my boy Chase Owens, being there.
Friend of the family, Chase Owens.
Yeah. So, there's reasons. But we love New Japan. And
New Japan is what reignited our love for professional wrestling.
Yeah, so being in there and watching this, and you got the Young Lions, and you always want the Young Lions to win, right? You just want them to win against someone other than themselves.
Yeah.
But sorry, I'm just thinking, can you imagine the world ending of a Young Lion picking up a win on a major show?
No.
Like this.
I can't. And it's a little different because, the Young Lions, they do their year in the dojo, then they come out and they're still in the black trunks for like a year or longer before they go on excursion.
Right.
With the Stardom girls, the rookies come out of the dojo and they already have their gear and everything. It's a little different.
They do, but they also eat pins for a year normally.
Like, it's expected for Akira Kurogane to pin Yorihime.
I mean, I know we've had the Utamis, right? We've had the ones that came out and they were like, no, let's give them a push.
Yeah.
So it's not unheard of.
No.
It is, however, rare.
Yeah, like Akira's 3 months in, and to get a pin over even someone like Rion, when Yuri is on the other team, is impressive and unprecedented.
You're protecting Yuri as well.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I'm really happy for her because they kind of told this little story over Golden Week where Akira kept taking losses for her new faction, and it all kind of led up to this point that she got this pin, and Mavita Loca was like over the moon.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
It really erased those pins that probably had to happen because you weren't really into the storytelling yet.
Yeah, she was really frustrated, I think, and she was not going to lose here.
And honestly, and not to spit any shade, but Rion, out of every rookie we've had in the last 3 years, has probably progressed the least.
She's kind of stalled out a little bit.
I think so.
A little. You can tell she's still working hard, but she's kind of hit some roadblocks along the way.
Yeah, I think she needs something.
She needs a little shake up.
Yeah, she needs something. She needs something else.
New faction. New gear.
Needs new gear, new faction, and a better special move.
Yeah. Her that flip over roll up pin thing just doesn't work.
No,
it needs to go away.
It's god awful.
It's not great.
It is the ugly sweater that.
Yeah, and most people can't get into it correctly, so it looks bad.
Yeah, exactly, like that ugly sweater.
The difficulty's too high, and you're gonna mess it up more than half the time. You just need to kibosh it, I think.
I mean, honestly, Yuria has something like that too. That stupid ass kick.
Oh yeah.
That she has so much good stuff.
Yeah,
that I absolutely love.
The step up leg drop. Is like, maybe not.
Yeah, it just doesn't ever look good.
We'll just scoot it under the rug, pretend it didn't exist.
Just tweet Tony Khan about it.
Maybe if we tweet them about it.
That seems to work.
Tony will be like, I'm on it. He's calling
Hey, I'll have you know that we have direct messaged Okada during a Stardom event. And
was it the one where the software was talking every 5 seconds?
Yeah, and I swear to God, whether it has something to do with it or not, we were literally watching it and seeing him look down at his phone and do a reaction,
and walked off.
Like a cartoon reaction, like doom, and took off running, and then all of a sudden that quit.
Yeah,
like they stopped the show for like a split second and restarted or something.
Yeah,
because it was free software thing.
It was like, thank you for using our software. Like literally every minute, it was so annoying. It was funny though. Like we were cracking up.
Yeah.
Oh, Stardom. You never get old.
Love it.
After that, we add Fukigen Death, Azusa Inaba, and Natsuka Tora versus Yuna Mizumori, Sariano, and Natsupoi. So little Cosmic Angels versus Hate, which is always a good time. Yuna Mizumori was actually the one who reversed the O'Connor roll on Fukigen Death and pinned her with her own roll-up to get the win for Cosmic Angels and to kind of put to bed this whole little feud she's been having with Fukigen Death, who kept beating her when Yuna was like, I want another shot at the high-speed title, but I keep losing to Fukigen Death.
and Yuna needed to win, man.
She did. Yes.
She has eaten a lot of losses, and I think this was it worked really well.
It was time for Pine Speed to take back over.
I believe so.
And it's rare to see Fukigen Death lose in these situations, but maybe she's on the decline.
You never know.
You never know.
How dare you, but you never know.
Following that, we saw Kyoko Kotatsu, Rana Yagami, Tomoka Inaba, Hina, and Saki Kashima versus Momo Kogo, Saya Ida, Hanan, Koguma, and Hazuki. And, before this match, I tweeted, it'll be interesting to see how everyone gets along in this match because we had the whole Han and Hazuki thing going on. But when everyone came out, everything seemed fine. Everyone was all hunky-dory. There was no looks. There was no, aggression or anything. Everyone did their part. Koguma was a bear. Hazuki did the boot wash. Everyone was fine. And I thought we were past it. Maybe they put it behind them, I thought there was just stars. They even did the stars spots together.
Yeah.
It was like everything was just fine.
That's what it looked like.
And then after Hanan pinned Rana with her beautiful backdrop suplex that somehow keeps getting prettier every time she uses it.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how. She got the microphone. And this is where things were no longer hunky-dory. Because, as we all expected, Stars cannot go on in the form that we once knew it under Mayu Iwatani's rule. And Hanan got on the mic and she talked about the changes that have happened. And she said that they had decided that it would be best if it was a smaller group of them. You know, just the three of them. Just Hanan, Saida, and Momokogo in Stars. With Hanan kind of taking the leadership role upon herself. But that meant that in their current iteration of Stars, they didn't see a place for FWC any longer.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we kind of all saw it coming, but to watch it happen was really hard and emotional.
And I agree with it, though. I mean, there's not a place for them.
No.
And I think that they're not being, you know, I guess they're freelancers as far as Stardom goes.
Yeah, they're still Stardom wrestlers.
They're Stardom, but they're
not in a faction
not
anymore.
affiliated.
Yeah.
Right now. And, you know, it could happen and we could have a new, you know, Hazuki-led faction, which would be amazing.
Yeah, she's very much leadership material.
But, you know, as of right now, I think that Stars under Hanan's leadership
is very small Stars for now.
Is magnificent, though. I love the thought of Hanan leading Stars because Hanan is the leader. Hanan is a main character.
Yeah, I think it was a natural progression for sure with Mayu leaving. Hanan seems like the best candidate to take over Stars because she kind of embodies what Stars is about, in my opinion.
I mean, I think during the 5-star 2 years ago is really Hanan was really coming out. Like, you know, ever since that time, she's been, to me, a main eventer. Like, she's had those chops, you know, and just seeing her passion. And you go through some of the stuff we talked about many times.
She's definitely future ace.
But you go through, like, Wingori matches, some of the big-ass Wingori matches. And you look at where she's at now, dude. Listen, she is, and some of the emotions during this, during
this ending segment, God, it was so emotional.
When Hanan was talking, and she kind of gets Saida, comes over and gives her to Iggy, and she's just like, and looks at her, you know, like, you got this.
Yeah. Saida is always there for her. But watching FWC walk out and seeing Koguma, like, turn around longingly with tears in her eyes, I was like, why? You don't seem like you really want to leave.
No, she didn't seem like she wanted to leave. It seemed like...
And she's kind of just following her tag team partner into their future.
And Momokogo just seemed like she was just happy to be there.
She's like, just happy to be here.
I think had Hazuki and Koguma said, hey, come on with you know, she
might have.
Okay.
Yeah. She just follows along. But in the backstage comments, Hazuki mentioned that ever since Mayu left, they had been kind of thinking like, maybe Stars isn't for them anymore, and they would rather take FWC kind of worldwide and explore the world and show people what they can do while being Stardom wrestlers.
Maybe they can have food, you know, get people from, you know, Fukuoka. And
just the Fukuoka wrestlers traveling
have
around.
Quintuple Crazy or something.
Well, Micah's hurt right now, but I'm sure there are plenty of other wrestlers from Fukuoka that
I don't know if there are.
They could recruit into their team. But yeah. So Stars is a group of 3 now. It's like perfect for artists.
For right now,
yes. There's some that, like, Yuri Hime would be a great candidate for Stars, especially with her new internship under Saida for the chops.
Perfect.
She would be perfect for Stars, and I think there's an argument to take people out of other factions to go in
I think
Stars.
there's an argument for both the new girls.
Yeah, both of the new... Even Ane Kanaya, when she comes back.
That's been the Stars thing forever.
Matoi, I don't know.
Matoi seems like she'd do good there.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't think Stars will stay small for long, but this is the new version of Stars with Hanan at the head, where she belongs.
I like it.
I like it too. It's good to shake things up, right? Mm-hmm. Following this revelation, we went into a special singles match, Aya Sakura versus Shiri. And I was really, like, they had a singles match a while ago, like last year.
They did.
And this has really showed how much Aya Sakura has grown into herself. And she wasn't wearing Shiri's old gear this time. She was fully in her own Karate Girl gear, you know, high kick angel all the way. But I think Shiri should be very impressed with Aya Sakura
I do too.
During this match. Obviously, Shiri is scary to go against in a singles match.
Yeah, she forgets the whole thing about friends and shit, right? She's not one of those, like, old school days, you'd have the friend versus friend. You'd have the clean break. Doesn't
really happen here.
Yeah, it's just, no, I'm going to beat the hell out of you.
Yeah, and she's got that new title to protect, right? So she has to be on at all times. Of course, she won this match. She tapped Aya Sakura out with the ground Suzaku, which is just her way of doing things. But then following the match, Sari appeared because at All-Star Queendom, Sari was there, and she told Shiri that she wanted to challenge her for the IWGP Women's Championship, and she claims that Shiri promised her the first defense of the title, but she hadn't heard an answer, or like they hadn't set the match or anything yet, so she's here for answers. She wants to know when they're gonna have this match, and as they're trying to figure this out, a video comes on the screen above the crowd, and Alex Windsor challenges Shiri for June 6th in Rev Pro. So now, turns out, that Shiri's first defense of the IWGP belt will be against Alex Windsor in England, which is really cool. But then she will be coming back, and on June 21st at Stardom The Conversion, she will face Sari, I guess, if she still has the belt and Alex didn't beat her. But, you know, that's kind of a long shot, I think.
Yeah.
At this point.
I think she holds on to the belt for sure.
Yes. So she will face Sari at the end of June at Stardom The Conversion, which we know last year was a huge turning point in the makeup of Stardom and how it looked. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on at the end of June this year. But I just love this whole storyline of Sari being like put out with Shiri and this whole IWGP picture. She's like, people are so unprofessional. I haven't heard anything. No one's contacted me. And even when she looked to Okada and was like, can we do it on the 21st at Stardom The Conversion? He just kind of got the mic and was like, I'll let you know within the week.
Yeah, and that's strange.
It's so funny. I think they're just messing with her.
I think it's great, but it's so weird to make it look like that they were just like,
that they didn't care?
Yeah, they're being very unprofessional about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just, they're just trying to be funny, or maybe it's because Sari's like not part of Stardom officially. They're just like giving her the runaround, but it was very weird.
It was weird. It was
fun.
But yeah, I'm interested to see if that's actually something they're going for, if that's, you know, some kind of storyline or something.
Right. And of course, the match when it happens is going to be epic, just like their last time limit draw match was, because both of them are incredible wrestlers.
Oh, I agree. I can't wait to see it.
After that, we saw Ruaka, Rina, and Konami versus Miyu Amasaki, Haruka Umasaki, and Starlight Kid. And I said that with such emphasis because Haruka Umasaki has been injured and we haven't seen her in a good bit. But she came back here to once again team up with Starlight Kid, which, if you know, they were New Blood Tag Team Champions together under a different name. But this match was so that Miyu and Starlight could take back the Artist of Stardom titles that Hate had stolen from them without winning them. So Hate's just been running around with the Artist of Stardom title belts, and Neo Genesis is like, those are ours. Can we please have them back? And that's what this match was about. But it was Neo Genesis wins because Ruaka hit Konami with her black box, and Starlight Kid hit the moonsault and then a driver to pin Konami, which is kind of a big win for Starlight Kid because of her history with Konami.
It was a big, big, big moment for her because of all the BS from Konami and her bullyism.
Yes. And so they got their Artist Stardom belts back, but Hate wants a proper match so that they can try to win the belts the right way. Yeah. But as they're discussing this, Mi Vida Loca came out and was like, we want a shot at the Artist of Stardom titles. And so Starlight Kid kind of brokered this deal where on the 21st in Korakuen Hall, Hate will face Mi Vida Loca, and the winner of that match will face the Artist of Stardom titles in Osaka a couple days later. So somebody's going to get an Artist of Stardom title shot.
Yeah, and I do have to say, I'm such a fan of Haruka.
She's so good.
Such a fan, and it was so adorable at the end of this, where they were making her do the
they kind of made her
the Neo Genesis symbol, and
she was trying to learn the upside down peace sign.
Yes, wonderful.
She was adorable.
Bring her in.
I don't know how this is going to go. Obviously, Ruaka, Rina, and Konami on one side, Suzu, Rina, and Itsuki on the other. It's like almost like a mismatch. But
so Mi Vida Loca is going to go over.
That's what I figured.
They're going to win these belts too.
Oh, you think?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of tradition to put the Artist belts with the new faction, isn't it? You
kind of have to put them on the new faction to get them over.
Yeah. That'll be a good match, Mi Vida Loca versus Neo Genesis, if it happens.
I'm all for it, dude.
Then we had a bit of a weird one, CMLL Japan Women's Championship, Mei Seira versus Juvia.
Yeah.
And this came about because Mei was, romping around down there in Mexico.
This match could have been a lot better.
It could have been.
I felt like it went kind of awry a few times.
Yeah, it did. It was very all over the place, and obviously there was no build for it. It was just kind of a cold match that they threw together.
It's crazy because Tabata would have been so much better against Mei.
It would have made more sense, too, I think, if it was Tabata. But they had a good match. It was very Lucha Libre inspired. Mei was able to pull out all of her moves that she does in big singles matches, which we haven't really gotten to see in a while. We kind of got it with Suzu, but there was blood involved at that point. So
I think maybe this was for airing on CMLL or something, because she has some stuff that she's talked about with CMLL, so maybe that was more of a Juvia showcase.
Yeah, probably. Juvia did win to retain the championship with the La Magistral.
The CMLL Japanese Women's Championship?
Yeah, yes, the Japan Women's Championship, yes.
So weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I agree. But, CMLL and their partnership with Stardom and New Japan, it's still cool.
And AEW.
And AEW, of course, they're in there too. But then the main event we had for the World of Stardom Championship, Sayaka Kurara versus Saya Kamatani.
All the feels.
Holy moly. So, of course, this match came about because Sayaka Kurara won the Cinderella tournament back in March, and this was her wish, to face Saya Kamatani for the World of Stardom Championship, even though she is a year and a couple months into her career, which is kind of crazy. And there had been a lot of talk leading up to it, like, this is crazy, why are you challenging for this belt? It's a red belt, you're not ready for it, all of that. But I think Sayaka Kurara more than proved her mettle in this match.
I think she did too.
She debuted a new light blue gear, which was really adorable on her. And then I just want to talk about a couple of moments that happened in this match that really wowed me. Like the fact that Sayaka Kurara used the violet shooting knees
so cool.
from the ropes on Saya Kamatani and then hit her with a Falcon Arrow. But of course, Saya kicked out of that. And then Sayaka just pulling Saya into roll-up variation after roll-up variation. She did 4 in a row, different roll-ups, trying to pin Saya Kamatani. And I think that just goes to show the depth of her technical ability. Like, she has all of these things in her bag that she can pull out.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't get her the win, she knows how to do it.
I love seeing the growth, man.
Yeah, Saya Kamatani hit a Desperation Star Crusher to counter a spear when Sayaka went for it, and then hit Sayaka with a nasty thrust kick and went for the pin, but Sayaka actually kicked out of this one, which was surprising to me. But then Saya hit another Star Crusher to get the pin and win and retain the World of Stardom Championship.
And I think it was a hell of a good, defense. I think they did a good job of making me believe during the middle of the match that there was a chance.
There was small chance. And like you said earlier, we've seen it before with people like Utami rising to the top very quickly. So it's not unprecedented that Sayaka could have won the belt here.
Especially with all the story. And there's been so much story about the her affinity for Saya and just so much
debuting against Saya Kamatani.
Just so much there, and I don't believe this is the end. I believe this is the beginning.
I think so too. Sayaka Kurara is far from done because following this match, even though Saya Kamatani is a heel, as we've covered, she's sort of started to open up more of her character to this sort of seeing the light bits. And after this match was part of that because she told Sayaka Kurara, she was like, you don't have to work so hard just to take someone else's place in the ring, because she thinks that Sayaka did this to try to fill Tam's shoes, essentially. And then she told her, all you have to do is prove your existence, that Sayaka Kurara exists in this ring. And I thought that was a really profound thing to say from Saya Kamatani.
Absolutely.
And Sayaka was like, no matter where you are or what you do, I can tell that your essence hasn't changed. And she went for a handshake to thank her for accepting the challenge and having this match with her. But of course, Saya Kamatani was like, get out of here, you dumb Cinderella. She said shitty Cinderella, like last time. She's like, get on out of here. I don't need this. But it was really cool, just this little moment they had where Saya Kamatani is basically like, you're really good. You don't need to tack your name onto Tam Nakano to be really good.
And I think she's saying that out of a place of experience.
Yeah.
You know, because you got to think about Saya Kamatani. For years, you see her featured on anything other than Stardom, and it was like John Kota Ibushi references.
Yeah, the Golden Phoenix was very Kota Ibushi coded.
Yeah, that was always the Kota Ibushi girl.
Yeah.
And that's what people know her as and called her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, that's that one that loves Kota Ibushi and looks just like Kota Ibushi, you know.
Yeah, like, so it's like Saya took this long to really come into herself and be like, I'm Saya Kamatani, and that's all that should matter. So she doesn't want Sayaka to...
Yeah, Kota Ibushi would wear a Saya Kamatani shirt now.
Yeah, she doesn't want Sayaka to fall into that same pattern of, like, trying to copy someone else just to get love and devotion from the fans. She's like, just prove that you're enough because you're here. Just be Sayaka Kurara, which I think is great advice because Kurara is amazing.
Yeah, Saya's story is developing.
It is. She's just beginning, and I love it very much.
Me too.
But we do have another big Korakuen Hall show at the end of the month on May 21st, and there have been a couple of really big matches announced for that. We did mention Rina Yamashita, Tsuki Aoki, and Suzu Suzuki versus Ruaka, Rina, and Konami for that #1 contendership spot for the Artists of Stardom titles. For the Wonder of Stardom title, Starlight Kid will be facing Hanako, who won the Stardom Rumble at All-Star Grand Queendom for this opportunity. And we will have the debuts of the new rookies. So Mai Matsuda will be facing Azumi, and On Toyoshima will be facing Hanan. So 2 very big debut partners there for the new rookies.
Is Azumi and Hana going to have any other match, or is that just going to
I don't think so. No, I think it's just the debut matches for them.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's some big players to take out of the top matches, but...
That's two Korakuens in a row without a meaningful Azumi match.
Yeah, after she just won that NJPW Strong title, which I'm sure she is working on getting matches for as we speak because she's Azumi and she just wants all the matches.
She wants to be greedy now.
Yes, she's going to be greedy now. Yeah. But that doesn't happen until the 21st. There are Stardom shows this weekend to look forward to as well, so make sure you're tuned into Stardom World for those, and make sure that you're following us on socials at Cult of Joshi, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, and subscribe to the Cult of Joshi YouTube channel where you can find all of our episodes, and subscribe, leave us a comment, like this video, let us know your thoughts and feelings about all the things
love
that we talked about here. Yes, share us around with your friends, your enemies, anyone you interact with. Just slide into the conversation. Hey, have you heard of Cult of Joshi?
That's good. Yeah,
it's a good icebreaker.
I have, but I'd like to hear it again, please.
But yeah, that's all we got for you this week. So I'm Raja. He's John. So long from the Cult of Joshi. Bye.